A member of Migos was shot outside a Florida casino, and now the internet is spiraling, especially after a resurfaced interview from Katt Williams started making the rounds. Offset was hit near the Seminole Hard Rock, and even though he's said to be fine, people are connecting this to something much bigger because now Katt Williams is being linked to shocking claims saying that after incidents involving Offset and even Rihanna, this is only the beginning that powerful forces are targeting artists. And more rappers could be next. In this video, we're breaking it music all down. The shooting, the warnings, and why this is leaving everyone seriously concerned. On the evening of Monday, April 6th, Music 2026, gunfire erupted in a place where people go to gamble, not dodge bullets. The former Migos rapper was reportedly shot near the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. The Seminole Police Department said that they are aware of an incident that occurred at a valet area after 7 p.m. Monday outside of the Florida casino. This wasn't inside the building. It wasn't on the casino floor. It was out front in the valet. Music, the place where you hand over your car keys and wait for your ride. A spokesperson connected to the 34-year-old rapper shared. We can confirm Offset was shot and is currently at the hospital receiving medical care. He is stable and being closely monitored. One person was taken to Memorial Regional Hospital in Hollywood with non-life-threatening injuries, the department said. The shooting eventually led to 2 people being detained by police. But here's what stands out. It is unknown if either of the 2 detainees were the actual shooting suspect or suspects. Officials did not specify the roles the 2 detainees were accused of playing in Monday's incident. It is also unknown how the reported shooting broke out in the first place. As of Monday night, no arrests have been announced in Offset's shooting incident. Think about that for a second. A rapper with global fame gets shot in the valet section of one of the most well-known casino resorts in the entire state of Florida. 2 people are detained, no arrests, no confirmed suspects, no confirmed motive, and the police are calling it contained. Now, for a lot of people online, this immediately triggered memories. Music, for some fans, this incident recalls the tragic death of former Migos member Takeoff, who was fatally shot in November 2022 following a private party at a bowling alley in Houston, Texas. Takeoff, born Kirshnikari Ball, was fatally shot on November 1st, 2022 outside a bowling alley in downtown Houston. The 28-year-old artist was an innocent bystander to a dispute involving a high-stakes dice game when gunfire erupted. So now, in the span of roughly 3.5 years, 2 out of 3 members of Migos have been shot. One of them didn't survive. And while Offset is alive, stable, and expected to recover, the eerie parallel hasn't been lost on anyone, especially not on those who've been paying attention to what Katt Williams' music has been saying for years. Because by Monday night, Williams' name was already trending alongside Offset's. Not because he commented directly on this shooting, but because of what he said before and what people believe he tried to warn us about. To understand why Katt Williams' name surfaces every time something happens in hip-hop, you have to go back to early January 2024. That's when Williams sat down with Shannon Sharpe on the Club Shay Shay podcast and proceeded to dismantle the comfortable silence the entertainment industry had maintained for decades. Katt Williams has ruffled some feathers with his extensive interview, Music, on Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay Shay podcast. The comedy legend's almost 3-hour-long chat with Sharpe sees him take aim at countless people across both Hollywood and the music industry. In it, he called out several comedians and actors by name, such as Kevin Hart, Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, and Ricky Smiley. But it wasn't just the comedy world that was in his crosshairs. Williams spoke about deeper, more ominous currents running through the entertainment business, currents that, according to him, dictate who rises, who falls, and who gets removed altogether. The interview accumulated a staggering viewership. Katt's Club Shay Shay interview was filled with sharp critiques of a slew of celebs like Kevin Hart, Steve Harvey, Tiffany Haddish, Tyler Perry, Music, and Ludacris. The interview has reached a whopping 85 million views on YouTube, and it wasn't just entertainment gossip. Williams laid out what he described as a systemic framework where artists are elevated, exploited, and then dealt music with when they become inconvenient. The comedian later reflected on the impact of that conversation at the Vulture Festival. Music, he stated, I was trying to do something there that hadn't been done. I thought that I had figured out the algorithm mathematically, and I thought that I could show that. When I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people that I was talking about. He was strategic, he was deliberate, and he acknowledged the danger openly. After opening the portal last year, Katt Williams says he's prepared music for potential safety risks. The 53-year-old comedian shook up Hollywood with his controversial interview on a Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay podcast in early 2024, where he declared that big dick deviants would catch hell that year and that all lies will be exposed. Other comedians noticed the stakes, too. The stand-up comic Mike Epps even warned Williams during an All the Smoke appearance, music, that it's all fun and games until these celebrities might start considering more dark action. Comedians are dark people, man, Mike Epps said of Katt Williams' Club Shay Shay appearance. We dark Katt Williams. I pray for that brother, man. I pray for that brother because that's some serious __ that he did on music. That podcast, man, we better hope all the people that he's saying ain't no killers. Now, Williams never mentioned music Offset by name in that interview. He never named Migos, but what he did lay out was a broader theory. Music about how the music industry treats its highest-earning black artists. A theory that, in the aftermath of this shooting, has been circulated and amplified thousands of times across social media platforms. In a resurfaced music interview that has now been linked to both the Rihanna estate shooting in March 2026 and the Offset incident, music, Williams explains what he describes as the cold economics of artist removal. When these rappers get killed, it's music, not incidental. Somebody makes $100 million, and now they don't have to validate none of those contracts. The money goes up and up, and they only have to deal with the mama once a year. Williams posits that major corporations benefit when a high-earning artist is neutralized or intimidated into compliance. He suggests that shootings are often warnings. Music, meant to remind artists of their vulnerability within the industry's monopoly. That's music, the framework that has people connecting his words to. What just happened in that valet area in Hollywood, Florida, to truly grasp the weight of what happened on April. Music 6th, you have to understand the road Migos traveled and how violently it has crumbled. Offset rose to fame with Migos, which was formed in 2008 with Quavo and Takeoff. Hailing from Lawrenceville, Georgia, Migos had stratospheric success, music, in the 2010s, becoming genuine pop culture phenomenons, as well as one of the best-selling music groups of the decade. Their tracks Versace, Motorsport, Stir Fry, Music, and Waka Taka became enduring hits with the Atlanta rap classic Bad and Bougie topping the Billboard charts and propelling them to mainstream stardom. Music, the trio share a very close relationship as all three of them grew up together like brothers. While Quavo and Offset are cousins, Takeoff was Quavo's nephew, and Takeoff's mother, Quavo's older sister, raised all three of them together. This wasn't some manufactured label grouping. These were family members who grew up in the same household, ate at the same dinner table, and made music in the same basement before any record deal ever materialized. But as the money grew, cracks formed. The cracks started to show in the group in 2022. Rumors began swirling that Saweetie, the former girlfriend of Quavo, had cheated on her then-boyfriend with his bandmate Offset. The alleged affair was never officially confirmed by any member of Migos. Music, despite this, Quavo released a single titled Messy with some fans deducing that his lyrics spoke about Saweetie cheating on him with Offset. Rumors of a rift between the members started after Offset and his wife, Cardi B, both unfollowed Quavo and Takeoff on Instagram in May 2022. After the duo released their debut single Hotel Lobby, Quavo and Takeoff moved forward as a duo, calling themselves UNC and Few. Offset was left on the outside, and then, on November 1st, 2022, the unthinkable happened. Migos rapper Takeoff was shot dead in Houston just a few days back around 2:30 a.m. on Tuesday, November 1st. Following his death, fans are eager to know if the 28-year-old still had a beef with Offset back then. The tragic incident occurred at a bowling alley where Takeoff was reportedly playing a dice game with Migos bandmate Quavo. In May 2023, Patrick Xavier Clark was indicted by a grand jury for the murder of Takeoff. He is set to go on trial on November. Takeoff's suspected killer hasn't even been tried yet. And now, Music, a second member of the group, is in a hospital bed. The fallout from Takeoff's death was immense, both publicly and privately. The Atlanta trio, formed in 2008, has had a rocky few years, beginning in 2022 when Offset appeared to suggest there was conflict in the group on his song Messy, releasing a video for the track one day after his cousin, Takeoff, was killed. The timing was catastrophic, and fans took it as deeply disrespectful. Shortly after, the pair reportedly got into a scuffle backstage at the 65th Annual Grammy Awards, which Offset denied in a post. "What TF look like fighting my brother y'all in, as is crazy," Offset tweeted at the time. According to TMZ, the Migos bandmates allegedly squared off backstage because Quavo reportedly blocked Offset from performing on stage with him for Without You, the former's tribute song to Takeoff. Eventually, grief did what pride couldn't. Quavo and Offset stole the show at the BET Awards to honor Takeoff. And while the moment meant a lot for hip-hop, it doesn't mean fans should expect new Migos music anytime soon. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ the former foes have actually been cordial behind the scenes for months. Obviously, Sunday night's performance was the first public display they'd worked things out. But working things out doesn't mean the wound's healed. Offset continued on Anthony's podcast, saying Takeoff was the glue that held Migos together. "Got to celebrate him. Any bulls get put aside about. Bro," he said, "he was the one who keep our head straight. He always was the knee day that was the medium. Without that glue, the group dissolved, music, and the violence that stalked it continued." If you're looking for context on why Offset might have enemies or why the universe around him has been increasingly turbulent, you don't have to look far. The most public saga in Offset's life over the past 2 years has been his divorce from Cardi B. Music, the rapper, whose real name is Belcalis Almanzar, filed for divorce from fellow rapper Offset in July 2024 after 7 years of marriage. The couple has 3 children together, and the divorce has not yet been finalized. This wasn't a quiet split. Offset told Keke Palmer on her podcast, "I should have respected her way more. You know what I mean? I made bad decisions as a man, like stepping out." The cheating rumors had plagued their relationship for years, and Offset eventually admitted publicly that his infidelity was the root cause of the breakup. "That's why when she left, I had to take that on the chin," he said. But while Offset was publicly owning his mistakes, the financial dimensions of the divorce were escalating into something far more contentious. As of November 2025, it was reported that Offset rejected a settlement offered by the Bronx rapper offering $10 million. He reportedly said, "I built her brand. I deserve half." Last year, Cardi B took to social media and legal channels to claim that Offset was intentionally stalling their divorce. She alleged that he was refusing to sign the final paperwork unless she agreed to pay his outstanding tax liabilities. Those tax liabilities were significant, with a major $1.5 million payment now finalized. The primary roadblock Cardi B identified appears to be largely removed, but the bitter public nature of the split. The social media rants, the leaked allegations. Music, the financial tug-of-war, painted a picture of a man under immense pressure from multiple directions. Meanwhile, Cardi had moved on quite visibly. Fans began wondering if she also liked Stefon Diggs in October 2024. The rapper and the New England Patriots wide receiver then fueled dating speculation after. They were photographed together on Valentine's Day 2025. Cardi made it abundantly clear that the chapter with Offset was closed. She said, "Music, I'm so tired of people associating me with somebody that is from the past because I filed for divorce a year ago. That should be very clear. I don't deal with that. I don't mess with that. I don't have no contact with that." So picture Offset's world in the months leading up to April 6th. His cousin Takeoff dead. His group Migos dissolved. His marriage done. His finances under scrutiny and public dispute. The trial for Takeoff's alleged killer still pending, set for November 2026. And his own relationship with Quavo Music, civil at best, fragile at worst. Quavo and Offset had a falling out before the death of third member Takeoff. Music, and their relationship has not improved since. There has been the occasional birthday post, but by and large the two men do music, not speak. And then a gunshot rang out in a valet area in Hollywood, Florida, and the man who once stood on top of the hip-hop world with his family was rushed to Memorial Regional Hospital with a bullet wound. Post-Migos Offset had been trying to carve out his solo lane. Offset found his own success as a solo artist. Music, including with his hit songs Ric Flair Drip, Clout featuring Cardi B, and Music Say My Grace featuring Travis Scott. He attended community events. In December 2025, he attended the 4th annual Toys for the Nail F Music Christmas charity event in Norcross, Georgia. He was a father navigating co-parenting. The rapper has 6 children. Music, including 2 daughters and a son with his estranged wife, rapper Cardi B. He also had 2 sons and another daughter from previous relationships. All of this context swirls around the shooting like debris in a hurricane. And while the police have yet to confirm a motive or a suspect, the court of public opinion has already convened, and the testimony they keep replaying comes from a comedian who told everyone this would happen long before it did. This is the part of the conversation that makes people uncomfortable, because when Katt Williams talks about the music industry, he doesn't talk about isolated incidents. He talks about patterns. He talks music about systems. He talks about who benefits when an artist is diminished, controlled, or eliminated. Williams, Music, posits that major corporations benefit when a high-earning artist is neutralized or intimidated into compliance. He suggests that shootings are often warnings meant to remind artists of their vulnerability within the industry's monopoly. And the timeline does give people pause. In November 2020, Takeoff was fatally shot at a bowling alley in Houston. Music, in March 2026, the quiet of a high-security Beverly Hills enclave. Music was shattered by 10 rounds from an AR-15. The target was the estate of global icon Rihanna, who was reportedly inside an Airstream trailer on the property with her partner A$AP Rocky at the music time of the attack. And now, in April 2026, Offset is shot outside a casino in Florida. 3 shootings involving major hip-hop figures in a span of less than 4 years. Music, and in each case, the circumstances are murky, the motives unclear, and the full picture stubbornly out of reach. Music. Now, should we be careful here? Yes, absolutely. It is unknown how the reported shooting broke out in the first place. The details surrounding the shooting remain unknown. Officials have not confirmed if any arrests, Music, have been made or what led to the gunfire at the casino. We don't know if this was targeted. We don't know if it was random. We don't know if it had anything to do with Offset's music career, his personal disputes, or any industry machinations. But here's what we do know. Katt Williams told the world on a podcast that has been watched by tens of millions that the entertainment industry is not what it appears to be. He said that artists are placed on pedestals specifically so they can be knocked off of them. He said that the contracts are designed so that when an artist is gone, the money flows upward, not outward. And he said all of this before Takeoff's murder trial even began, before Rihanna's home was shot at, and before Offset ended up in a hospital bed. In light of Takeoff's death, Quavo has taken several initiatives to speak out against gun violence in the wake of Takeoff's death, including a visit to Congress in 2023, the creation of an emergency trauma fund in Atlanta, and more. The surviving members of Migos have tried publicly, painfully, to channel the violence they've experienced into something constructive, but the violence keeps finding them. And that's what Katt Williams' words keep circling back to. Not that any specific person ordered any specific attack, but that the ecosystem these artists operate in is inherently dangerous, and that the danger isn't always random. That when you follow the money, when you trace the contracts, when you look at who profits from a dead or sidelined artist, the picture starts to look less like coincidence and more like architecture. Is that provable? Not yet. Maybe not ever, but consider this. Offset is in a hospital bed right now. The man accused of killing Takeoff still hasn't gone to trial. And the comedian who said he was prepared for the safety risks of telling the truth is watching all of it unfold from a distance, probably not the least bit surprised. The question isn't really whether Katt Williams was right about everything. The question is whether the people who dismissed him are still comfortable doing so. Because at a certain point, the pattern stops looking like paranoia and starts looking like a warning that nobody listened to. And if Williams' framework holds, if the industry really does operate the music way he describes, then the next question isn't just about Offset's recovery or Takeoff's trial or Rihanna's security. The next question is the one the title, Music, of this video asks. Who will be next? We don't get to answer that yet, but someone out there already knows.